Today we are going to review the Roland Fantom. I've had this keyboard for exactly 1 year now, and not only have I produced an entire album's worth of instrumentals, but I've also produced another album that I'm currently writing for. In addition to the Phantom Friday episodes, I've also been producing for the Virus TV YouTube channel, so I've been quite busy this past year. What we're going to do is we're going to create a project from start to finish. That way you get an idea for what the workflow looks like. I'm going to talk to you about some of the pros and cons and give you my final thoughts in the end and let you know where we're going to go from here. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to do here is create a new project. Now, it already comes preloaded with a lot of already made projects that you could sample from. Or you could go all the way down here to the end and pick one of these empty projects. So because I don't have any intentions on using any of the built-in projects already, just override what already exists. So the red means that there's not a built song, but there are built tones. You can see these lit up here, and I'll get into that later. Okay, what do we do here? Go to Scene Select, projects called Scenes, Scene Edit, Utility, Scene Initialize, Select, and OK. Go back to the pattern, it's blank. So you could do 8-track view or 16-track view. I typically like to do 16-track view. And we're just going to go ahead and write right here first and rename clear all shift, and we'll do Fantom Rev 01. Okay, scene right. Okay, there we go. Now we have our project. Go to the pattern here. All your sounds over here. So you got piano, E-piano, organ, keys, guitar, bass, strings, brass, wind, choir, synth, pad, FX, drum, user, and the sign. So, interesting thing here, track 10 is already pre-selected for drums. If you select this rhythm pattern button over here, they have these pre-made, and if you hit the key trigger, you could actually use some of these. But we're not going to do that. We're gonna create one from scratch over here. So you could do that a couple of ways. First and foremost, you could just record it outright. So whatever this one's defaulted to, you press it, and you could select throughout quite a bit of different kits. And then over here in percussion, you could go in. So quite a bit to choose from. I mean, we'll just go with the first one. So you could either record it outright, and here's the record menu. Let's turn this click off for a second here so we could look at this. So quantize over here. I usually like to do 16 notes, and that's what it defaults to when you hit grid. So, and as you can see, the screen isn't as responsive as you would like for it to be. We're going to go wait note because that way it triggers as soon as we start playing it. Hit this mix button over here, and you could choose whether it's going to be 4 or 8 all the way to 32. And you could either just record it like this, or what we're going to do is what I prefer to do with drums anyway, is the TR rec mode. We're going to go ahead and select it to 4 bars here, and let's go with that. So the tempo right here, it's pretty self-explanatory. Hit the tempo button, it's flashing at all times, as most things are, so you can kind of get a visual metronome going. We're just going to keep it on 120, as most things default to. Covers a little bit of genres. We're just going to leave it there for now, and it is velocity sensitive, so if you can see over here, so you can see as I go higher, as I go lower. There you go. So we're going to go all the way up on this one, and I'm just going to go with 9 because that's where the snare goes. So we're just going to play it and do it while we're playing. We'll do this one on top of it too, and get a couple of them going. Hi-hats. I'll do it this way. I'm kind of working backwards here, I know, but bear with me, folks. Let's see if I want this one. Yeah, let me go with this one. Let's see. I want to add anything else. Let's just leave it here for now. Okay, so we have our pattern here. Now let's just go down the list here. Let's just, I'm going to put my bass line at 9. And we'll just keep it simple. See where it starts at. Let's go with E bass. Well, yeah, let's just do that. Something simple. And volume control, obviously. Yeah, let me do this. Let's go on keys here. I like this bell over here. Let's do 8 on this one. Undo that real quick. Sorry guys, got overzealous there in a minute. I'm just going to stop it there, go to edit, because I changed my mind, and I'm just going to go 4 on here. Okay, say that I'm unhappy with that and I want to do something else in the keys. It's pretty simple here. Just or if I want to do something else altogether, just something close to it. A little too high. Why not? Already getting sweat on here. Alright. What do we want to do next? Want to do some guitars? Yeah. They sound great too, by the way. Let's go distorted guitar. Let's see what that's kind of weird, honestly. Let's do 8. Let's see where it goes. And you can see there, and I'm glad I kind of did right there. I messed up. You could hear it. So, let me play it. And go to edit, and you could either go in microscope or piano roll. I like going in piano roll, and here we go. Let's see where the mistakes are here. So all you gotta do, and you can do it while you're listening to it too, it doesn't matter. It'll course correct it. You'll hear it as you move the note because it drags it just like any other piano roll would. But yeah, it just needs to go over here real quick, and I think that's it. Okay, let me take that down a little bit. More subtleties in there. And again, if I want to do a different guitar, just go in here and pick one. It takes time because that long note on there. There we go. Let's see. You know what? I kind of like that. Okay, well, say that I still want to use that pattern, and I just want to copy it and paste it over. No problem. You know, pattern utility. Select which one you want to make sure that's pretty important there. Copy it, and let's paste it right next to it. How about we just do that? And paste it. And now whatever it's defaulted to, I don't know what we have it on here, and just go back. And when is this on? So you could look at it, the zones, and it shows exactly where I'm at. Gives me a piano. Probably not going to sound like what I'm looking for, so let me just take it to a guitar. And let me just get out of this zoom so I could have a better view. And what was the one that we looked at before? Let's see. Oh wait, I gotta select it. Hold on. Let's go in the pattern. Okay, let's just keep going here. We're going to fill her up just so I could go through the song building process. And where are we at? We did guitars, keys here. Let's dig into this synth here. Let's see what this... As you can see, I have some stars allocated to my favorites here, and that's... You could build your favorites. You can just, over here, go straight to them. I've only done this with the synth. I think I did it with the pads too, but let's just go through all of them and see what we could do here. See what the beat is feeling for this little arrangement we got going here. And actually, before we get to that, let's just go through here and play around for fun. As you can see, the color changed over here. And it keeps changing. Why does it keep changing? Yes. Because they're different synths. You can see on the zones over here that... Ooh, I like that one. And you can tell I like it because I have it. So... And let's go to the zone view real quick. So yeah, you could find out more about it right here. Look at all of them, or look at one. Yeah. So let's try to make something out of this. There we go. Okay, let's see. Let's go another 8 here. I know that was kind of sloppy, guys, my bad. But never fear. Okay, now say you already have it in your head that you want that to change at some point, but you still want to keep that pattern. Well, as you can see here, you could have a lot. You have a lot to choose from. So we could just take that same thing and say, hey, I want to play a chorus part or something. Let's see. Let's do something here. Like, let's just edit that real quick rather than play it again. And as you can see, I'm not only moving what I need to move, I'm also erasing what I need to erase from what I messed up on. So it goes a long way. You know, you don't have to be a keyboard god or know a lot about music or music theory. As you could tell by my keyboard playing, I'm not a real professional. I mean, I've been playing keys for a minute, but yeah, I'm not a professional keyboard player by any stretch. It has all these things to allow for me to, instead of going through and picking up and re-recording where I messed up on, I could just fix it real quick and not have to go through all that. Okay, so we didn't really dig too much into the synth engine, but it's a lot to dig into. That's the main feature about this keyboard is the synth engine. The synth engine is massive. It's so massive. Here, let me just give you a demonstration. I'm going to take it all the way over here, and this is one of the main features of this keyboard that is really a good feature in layering the synths and samples and everything. Let's just go to my favorites here and just layer some of the. Let me show you what I mean here. So I like that, right? So let me go here and can't notice it yet because I only have the piano going here. So I have them both. When you go here. Guitar in there. Oh, you see where I'm getting at here. Okay, so let's go up. Yeah, here. Yeah. Yeah. That's both of them. Yeah, so you could build and build. And build. It is endless. And here, when you record it together, it records them together. It takes up, that's the only drawback, it takes up as many patterns as you use on it. So, say I'm over here, I'm only using these to figure out which sample I'm going to use. Like, say if I wanted to do something else, like a pad in the first one instead. Say I want to do it'll take me to that pad. Let me get it less crunchy going. Do a bell. Let me do. So it only it triggers whatever I'm going to use. So, point being, what I was meaning to explain here is when you go to record it, see, takes up both spaces. Now you can spread them out a bit if you want to really get gangster with it. And as you could hear, I messed up on there, and because I played them both together, that means I messed up on both of them. So that means I have to fix both of them, yes. So it's fine, whatever. Fix it. So I didn't fix this one. So I gotta go in and fix this one too. There you go. Gotta move. Oops. Fix it. Fix. So the synth engine is also in the brass. Let me take it down a little bit. Or you go traditional. But yeah, let's dig into the. Yeah, see how far it goes. Song building. Say you wanna, you're happy with this, you're happy with that, you're happy with this. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention about here, the interesting thing about this is even though these things are connected at the one here, you could actually set them to play individually. So if you decide that you want one and not the other anytime in your project, you could set it to do that and only do one at a time instead of two at a time. And you could do that while you're setting your groups, which I'm about to go through right now. So I just thought I'd explain that real quick because it is an interesting thing that you have that flexibility. So I'm just going to go in here and let's see what we're going to do for a starting point. Let's just take out the drums and the bass and see what we got here. See, I want those together. That's my starting point where I want. So you go to grouping, then it pulls you up to the first one, and then it'll keep going down. Go to set. Are you sure? Yes. Now, go to play it. Kind of jamming if you're going to sample, but let's switch it to the amount that we want. And it shows you how long it is. And it shows already that what we have here, both of the samples we're using are 8 bars. So you can make it go and just keep it going if you want it to repeat. But let's just go as long as it goes and see where it goes. Now, as far as the workflow goes on here, this is pretty much where your workflow is. You know, as you could tell from when I've been working over here, I've been going over here to the pattern and using the pattern button a lot, because you're always going into your pattern, because that's basically the structure. You build your patterns, you find your sounds, build your patterns, build your groups, group your groups, and then make your song. So I just made a group right here. So we're going to go, and I went into that group and made it. So now we're going to, you know, and here we go. So you add it to the song, or you could add it down here and go back, so on and so forth. So song, there you go. Okay. Let's go back in the pattern and see what we're going to do for the next section of the song. Let's see if we do bass at the same time. Let's do that. Let's just go that route here. So don't want to override the group that we already have. So we set it. Okay. Go to the group. Now it's only this length, but we're going to make it this length, and it's just going to repeat right here, as you can see. Go in and make song. Add it. Okay. Let's go down here. Now we're going to add the... So I imagine we're going to do drums this next time around. Let's see. So let's group that. Set it. There you go. Group. You know, as tedious as this seems, for me specifically, it saves a lot more time than scrolling into a mouse, finding samples and putting things together. Just in my experience here, you know, it may be different for other people, but okay. So we got that part set up, and we're going to go into the, I guess, tell I didn't want those bells so high at first, but after putting all those other instruments in there, it definitely changed things. So let's go to grouping and do that where the bells add in. So there you go. Now I'm going to make song. Now, oh, I didn't do it to the last one. My bad. Let's just do that. There you go. Now you have all of them. You can listen to what you have so far. Let's go ahead and do that. obviously I'm not just going to leave it like that, so we're going to... Let's go into group and set song, add, and go over here. So let's just call that a bridge. So we're going on to the next thing, which means we're going to go to that pattern that we made earlier. And then we're going to... What are we going to do here? Do we know what we're going to do? I don't think so. I think we're going to take this out. Say I want to drop the hi-hats from this one. Well, simple. We just do what we did earlier. Go to Pattern Utility. Go to Copy. Go to Paste. Now I'm back out. I said back out. See what I mean? So now we're in that, and we could do it one of two ways. We could either do the edit and take it out using the piano roll, or, you could, see, my bad. Things yelling at me over here. Now you could take it out this way. Just find it, whichever. There it is. See, I just want to take out these ones. I just want to take out every... I don't want to take out all of them. I just want to... And there you have it. Let's see if I want to use these right here. I don't know if I do. Check this out. Yeah, I'm gonna take that out. Okay, so group this one, set, and bear with me guys while I try to figure out what we're doing here. Okay, say because you have a chorus, you want the chorus to repeat or you want it to go on longer. Simple, you just go into edit, go over here and change repeat over here. So you want to take something out. You could delete it, you could copy it, you could move it over, and it's pretty simple here. So we're going to find out about these, and instead of playing through this whole thing, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the groups and listen to these individually. That way we don't have to listen to the whole song to figure out what we want to take out or what we want to keep, because we're going to build the second verse now, but in order to build the second verse, we got to figure out what we're going to want to keep in and what we're going to want to leave out, or if we're going to build a whole new section to see if we're going to do it here. So yeah, so let's see here. And where do you want to start the second verse? It's okay to drop it out, but I think over here, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So that is 2. So you go to the song, go to edit, pattern 2, copy it, and over here, execute. See, I don't know if you caught that. I'm going to do it again over here with another one. But there's these little arrows in between the cracks that have you execute where you put them. So I want to do something else here. So I'm going to go into group 2, go into the pattern, and I think I'm going to create another one because I'm going to add this to have a little extended build up here. So I'm going to make that into another one. So here we go. And then I'm going to go to make song. I'm going to put it right after 2 over here. So let's go back to the song real quick. And so what do I want to do after that? I obviously want to come in where the bell is already going to be. So let's find out where that is. Because I think it's 4. I think it's 3. Yeah, so it would have to be. So 4. Okay, perfect example. Okay, so now pay attention to where their arrows are. If you didn't see them before, you'll be able to see them now. So I'm going to take 4, which is what I want to take. Oh, I got to go to edit first. Take 4, copy it. Okay, you see it now? Green arrows in between the selection of where to go. You could either go there and just hit it with your finger, or you could use the arrow keys and do it like that. Execute. Bam. There you go. So I don't know how far we are here. Let's see what 5 does, and we'll probably just kind of end it that way. Yeah, so we'll take 5 and move it over to edit. We'll take 5, copy, and we'll do it by hand this time, and execute. Bada bing, bada boom. And then the chorus is number 6, so we might as well just take that while we're over here because we know that's coming next. So, and execute. And there we go. We're on to our 3rd verse. I don't think I'm going to go through the trouble of building the 3rd verse here in this example. You guys could see the building process. It's not like I have any designs on this beat or anything like that, or am going to explore it anymore. I may dig into it later on. But you get the idea. I just wanted to show this so you guys could understand the workflow. So we could listen to it all at once, go through it, and pick out what we want and what we don't want. I think towards the end of the course, to end it out, let's just close it out here and make it... So the course is group 5. So we'll go into group 5 over here. And then we're going to change the drums to that. And then we're going to add these. Nonsense. Let's go. And then we will add. See what happened there. Put that in the wrong place. You gotta be right there. And then put it in the right place. Okay. So I'm obviously going to want to end it different. Let's go back to the pattern. Let's see. Let's drop out all the drums. Sorry guys, I'm just doing a closer here. And going to do here? We're going to do... Let's see what's up. All right, let's just do that. I know it's not the best composition in the world, but hey, there's a free video here, guys. What do you want, a free song too? Well, you got it. It's not Grammy Award winning, that's all. Okay, so let's see, we have everything we want. I'm going to go over here and double these up real quick. There you go. That should make it all right. Now, what do we do? We got a whole song. Okay. So we think. Let's save it first. How about that? Now, say you have a whole song. You want to take that song. You want to take that song off of this keyboard and put it on a drive. So you can put it on your computer or listen to it in the car or elsewhere. Not so fast. Okay, I had to actually look this up because it's been that long, and I'm about to take you through the steps of exporting a song. Now, you would think you just hit export right there. No, that's not it. So you got to get a drive, and it has to be formatted. I already have one in there. And then you go to your sampler. And then you go to the pad. Hold on, let's find out where we are on the pad first, I guess. I don't know. Let's go to Bank 4. Okay. Let me just overwrite this here, because I'm not going to use this again. So, I got something picked out. Go to the sampler, to the pad, already exists. So it's going to Bank 4, Sample 1. Hit the auto trigger, and now, whatever I do on my keyboard, it's going to record from the time that I play into the time that I'm done. So yes, that means it's going to play through this whole project from start to finish, but that's just the beginning. So let's do it. Okay, so the next thing you're going to want to do is go into sample utility. And before you export the file, you have to normalize it. And this is how long it takes to normalize. As you can see here, it moves quite slowly. So after going through and listening to the entire project from start to finish and sampling the entire project from start to finish, about 4 minutes and I think, what was it, 40 something? I don't know. Bear with me, guys, I'm an old man. Yeah, so this normalizing process takes just about as long, or if not even longer. And there's still another step after this. So if I would have to say anything about the cons, I would have to say that this is a major con right here. The process of exporting, it's long, it's tedious, it's unnecessary, because with what this keyboard can do, with all the stuff that is in it, and all the ways that you could do, I haven't even dug in to the menus and sub-menus or anything like that. I'm going to be doing individual videos on those. I'm just into song building, just basic song building. And then start to finish, this is the finish part. This is ridiculous. You're talking less than 5 minutes. It's a big drawback. It's a lot of time. All the time that you spend, or all the time that you save on the workflow, this keyboard, it's a tremendous amount, especially if you're coming from a DAW situation. You know, you save a lot of time having everything at your fingertips like this. But a lot of that time that you save gets knocked out in this process if you decide that this is how you want to do it. So, and I forgot to rename it too, by the way, before normalizing it. But I guess I could always do that after normalizing it. But yeah, usually do it beforehand. But I don't usually do it beforehand. I usually don't do it. So, yeah, 25%. I don't know what I can do to kill time here. I really don't. You know, I could keep talking and going through this whole process. And, I know this is torture, but you guys could just skip ahead. You guys could just skip ahead to the next thing if you don't want to see how long and torturous this whole process is. But there is a way out. There is a way out. And, but yeah. I don't know. Yeah, this is definitely longer than listening to it. And I've done this a few times. I filled up the pads over here in the corner. And that's the main function of the pads. I mean, there are a lot of functions of the pads, don't get me wrong, and I'll dig into those in other videos, like I said. But as far as this goes, what are you going to do with the pads if you have all these projects and you have no choice but to save it here? That's my big question about why this workflow is the way that it is. Not the workflow, but the process of exporting. So the process of exporting, you have to put things on your sample pads, your sample banks. Well, it may seem like a lot here, and yeah, 16 times 4 is quite a bit, but not really if you're used to making projects and you're just working within the keyboard and exporting every single one of these projects. Say you want to keep them saved within here, then you don't have any room to sample. You don't have any room to use these pads for anything else other than when you have exported, unless you just keep erasing them and replacing them, and that's what they want you to do here. Erase, replace. You use one, and then you export it, and then you could reuse it again. And that's a long, tedious process in itself as well. I don't know how many minutes. I should have set the timer here, and I probably will in post-production, just so you guys could see how long this whole thing is. It's like, geez. But yeah, with the insane amount of detail that they put into this keyboard and the things that you can do, the capabilities that it has, they should have spent some more time on this and figuring this out. And that's not even the kicker yet. I haven't even told you guys. I'm burying the lead here. I haven't even told you guys what it is here in the end. Those already own Fantoms who are watching this already know where I'm going with it. But yeah, I think most Fantom owners have their keyboards hooked into something else and are externally doing something like what I'm doing, or have it plugged into another unit that they're doing things with. Yeah, but if you have this keyboard, say you took your whole tax return you have nothing else in life but this keyboard to make music on, and maybe have a computer you could use a USB for or something like that, but for the most part, you don't want to use a DAW. You want to keep everything within the keyboard. You want to be able to pull up these projects. That's another thing too. Keeping them within the sample library also helps when it comes to saving the projects when you're out here performing them live. And I'll get into that in other videos as well. But as far as this goes, here we go. I know I've been carrying on for a minute, but I'll probably just end up fast forwarding this, and I'm just talking for no reason. It's Jesus Christ. It's so long. My heater's kicking on. Yeah, I mean, who has time for all this? Come on, it's nearing that final 10%. Oh my God, here we go. Look at that, guys. You made it. You made it to the end, maybe. Oh, here, let me stabilize here real quick. Sample utility. Rename. New sample. No. Let's call it Fantom Rev 2. Oh. Alright, so here we go. Are we finally ready? Finally ready to export? Are you ready to sample export? Are you sure? Do we? Now that doesn't take nearly as long as the normalizing after you have to listen to the whole thing. And there we go. Export completed. Oh. No. Oh. Let's go over here. I didn't put it on consistent. I didn't change any of the pad settings, but there it is right there. So, Not done here yet. Let's save this first and foremost. Go to menu, file utility. Oh, no, that's not what we want to do. We want to go to utility. And then USB memory unmount. Unmount. Completed. Now we can take this out and plug it into the computer. But I'm still burying the lead here. I'm still burying the lead here. Check this out. Okay, you guys are going to have to forgive the shakiness for a minute, but I just wanted to pull this up real quick and show you guys. So here is the lead that I was burying. So here's the project, pulling it up in Pro Tools, and here it is. Sample rate, yes, it's 48, but the bit depth, 16 bits, not 24. Okay, so what do we do here? Well, the same thing we do to get through and around this whole export business at a lower bit depth. Let me show you. I'll just make my adjustments over here. And I think we're good. 24-bit, 48K, where I need it to be. And I bounce it. And there you go. I play it back one time after hitting 4K on my interface. And I make the adjustments in Pro Tools. That is how I get my Fantom to sound like $1,000,000. There's not a day goes by to where I don't marvel at this keyboard and its beauty. It is something to behold for sure. Let's get some of the cons out of the way first. The biggest con here are the pads. The pads are not meant for finger drumming. A lot of people who produce, especially hip-hop producers, treat pads as a musical instrument and prefer to finger drum. So you could I have some of these loaded with samples, but you can finger drum on it, but it hurts your fingers. Another thing, you can't chop up your project or your sample the way that you can in an MPC or you could with the SP404. Roland knows how to include these features. They know how to have these available. Why they chose to go this route with the pads, I don't know. That's what I got this for, so I could chop the Fantom. I shouldn't have to turn to another piece of equipment to be able to do that. They could have made it a little bit better when it comes to the sample features, and they knew it at the beginning. But yeah, I mean, I could just, if I want to get my finger drum on here. And as you could tell from my Fantom Fridays, I don't use this at all. It's not really meant for that. You know, it's not really meant to play like that, and it should be. I feel it should be. I've seen a lot of people, they have the PreSonus pads. A lot of people, they just get an MPD and use that for pads so they could get their finger drum on. And, you know, I said in my last video when it came to the purchasing the MPC Studio, if I can't finger drum when I'm sampling, I'm not interested. The ironic thing about this whole thing is that the very first thing that I learned on this keyboard was the sampler. The very first thing that I messed with on it was the sampler. I went through all the features, and you know, it's decent sampler. There's not just a straight chop like what you could do with a Kai. Can we just get a keyboard that has both of these things together? There isn't one. With the cost of the SP404 and the cost of the Roland Fantom, they could integrate those two workflows pretty easy, I feel. It doesn't make any sense to me that 16-bit is the max of what they can do. And I may be wrong in the future. They may fix this. You know, that's the beauty about this machine here. They're working on something. They're working on an update. When I got this machine, it was a year after it came out, and right away there was a brand new update. So I happened to get it right when that update hit, and then a few months later they hooked everybody up who had a Fantom. That said, they'll probably come up with a new update pretty soon, because it's been, you know, about a year. You know, it's been a few months since they did the supercharged thing, giving us some you know, some Juno, some extra synths that weren't included in here, because you could still purchase, you could do with the Kai and native instruments and everything. So, you know, and another thing about the pads, you know, going back to that, you have to go a roundabout way to be able to record. So what I mean by that is that if you have something that you want to use that is in the sample, to record it onto your project, you have to program it to the keys and go through the submenus and, you know, do all this roundabout stuff to get to it. It doesn't just, you can't just use it and hit record and then hit it and then there you go, you know, it's in your project. No, you have to set it up for that. Does that take away from the keyboard and the workflow? I feel that it does. To be honest with you, I feel that it does. You could do sample-based production, but not how we do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's why, you know, most hip-hop producers who have a Fantom have an MPC attached to it. Otherwise, this is a great machine. You know, it's well worth the price. It holds its weight for sure. There's so many endless possibilities with what this keyboard is capable of doing. This past year has just been learning the machine, getting through the workflow, and just making music non-stop. Just continuously pumping out music, you know, and I got my plate full, you know, with stuff, and I just keep adding. I just keep adding and adding. But this year, what I'm going to be doing is going through the detail feature by feature. The Fantom is quite the price tag, which, you know, I guess maybe that's why I have these thoughts in my head of features that could exist with it. But a lot of things are, you know, are questionable, like the export feature. I understand that you know, engineering and takes time and effort, and, you know, you want to focus on other things, but I mean, 16 bits, I get that too, because you know, a lot of times when you put your music out there digitally into the world, they require you having a lower bit rate to be able to fit on their platform. The last album that I released, I had to go through because I had everything at 48K at 24-bit, and I had to go down and had to do some at 44.1, and I had to do some at 44 and 16-bit, you know, just to get it on all the platforms that they needed to be on. The majority of people who own this keyboard, do something kind of like what I do to Workaround. You plug it into your DAW and record it into your DAW, and then you get around all that mess. You don't have to deal with it. For me, personally, I just think it's better to run it through the SSL transformers, and then on top of that, use the SSL plugins to get everything that I need to pull those sounds out. This keyboard is so big, and there's so much you have to go through just to get through a project, but it's not as bad as you would think. All the time and extra effort that it takes to do these things, you save all that time with the general workflow of everything. So it's nothing for me to plug this in to my DAW and go to work and do everything that I'm doing on here. I don't use the export feature, and like I said, I had to look it up, because it's been so long. The synth engine is massive. It is so massive, and it's probably the fourth time in this video that I've said that. It's too much to go through in this video. I just sped through a project and just did something real quick just so you guys could get an idea of what this workflow looks like. The depth of sound and the richness in tone, the sample library, the workflow, the synth engine. God, I could just go on and on about the pros of this keyboard. I used to work in Logic Pro for more than 10 years before having this. I usually used a MIDI controller and just did all my projects through there. Even when I had my MPC Touch, I ran it through Logic and used it as a controller. It definitely is a game changer. If you don't have any kind of keyboard and you're looking to get a flagship keyboard, I couldn't recommend this more. Its shortcomings do not overshadow by any stretch at all. It's definitely changed everything for me, music wise. The only thing that I wish I could do is sample-based production without needing to go to another unit. But the SP404, that's Roland. I'm gonna pair that with here and see how it goes. There are definitely no regrets about this thing at all, and I love this keyboard, and I'm super happy with it, and I'm excited about whatever update they're going to come up with, because it looks like this will be around for a while as far as the Fantom goes. Like I said, not a day goes by to where I don't marvel at its excellence. So good job, Roland. My final thoughts are, it's an amazing piece of gear, and if you can afford it, get it. It's worth it. It's worth it for sure. It's a game changer.